Dark streets of Chicago, a mysterious masked hero fights against the forces of evil. He is the Recluse, and as a secret ally, a cop who goes undercover in the criminal underworld. Together, they face a deadly new threat, a drug that turns humans into monstrous creatures. As they try to stop the drug trade, they discover a hidden realm of horrors that will test their courage and loyalty. Will they survive?
The Unholy Nightmare.
From the creators of the hit comic book series Born of Blood, R. Elio Mazara and Dolan Wadding, comes a new action-packed adventure that will take you to the edge of your seat. Enter a world where superheroes and monsters collide, and nothing is what it seems. Don't miss Unholy Nightmare, the comic book event of the year.
Hello, everyone, and
Hi, guys.
welcome. Hello, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Hi. Hi, Dolan.
Hey, long time no see.
Yeah.
How are you? Are you super excited?
Yeah. Really excited.
That is
I-
wonderful.
Yeah,
So,
me too.
Drew,
Yeah, it's
tell us,
been a long time. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Drew, you have a delay. It's killing me.
Okay. Let's go and close some windows here.
It is okay. We will work through it. We will work through it. I
Okay.
promise. It is not a big
Okay.
deal. When I interviewed when Stray Dogs was coming out, I had the two creators of it on, and there was like a
Trish?
10-second yes, Trish, and I can't remember his name, but he was streaming in his car. And I was like, okay, we're gonna make this work one way or another. I promise you, delay or not, I'm gonna ask you about your book.
Yeah.
So tell us about Unholy Nightmare.
Okay. You want to start first, Dolan?
Maybe. Are you there, Drew?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So it's glitching pretty bad on my end. You know, I'm gonna hop out and hop right back in. I'll let Aurelio take over for right now. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Aurelio, I'll let you go first. I'm gonna hop. Okay. Because my
Yeah, no
internet
problem. No problem
is
at all.
glitching. But I'm gonna hop back. I'm gonna try to
Go for
fix
it.
this real quick. I'm gonna
Okay,
hop back in.
Aurelio.
Yeah.
Tell me
So,
all
Hi,
about
Tristan.
Aurelio, I'll let
Yeah,
you,
ready.
you take over for right now.
Yeah. No problem.
My God,
No
Drew,
problem.
you're a mess. Aurelio, tell me about, how it was working on this project. Tell us about this project. Nobody knows yet.
Okay. Everything started really year ago. I having this idea to make a comic book that was something between an horror comic book and a superhero comic book, but was just on a preliminary, a preliminary phase. I have done just some sketches, just few pages, but was totally different from what we have bring with Unholy Nightmare. After my experience with Dolan on Born of Blood, and that I totally falling in love with his script, and I asked him if he was interested to make a project with me about monster and superhero. So I started sending him all my sketches, and luckily he agreed to join me on this project. Unholy Nightmare is a love letter to the 19th times, like of the superhero,
I
like
love it.
yeah, Is basically one of my favorite times in comics because I having the pleasure to see the born of Image Comics, especially comic book like Spawn,
Yes.
Savage Dragon, or Youngblood. What in my what I am picturing is make an homage to that period of comic book. Um, and Dolan joined me on this adventure with this incredible script. He basically having give to the project uh, a big structure, and transforming my scrap idea, just my notes, on an amazing stories that I really hope to that we are be able to show to everyone.
Welcome back, Drew. Got to turn
Hey,
down
glad
on
to
the
be
other
back.
side.
Hey,
There we
welcome back.
go.
Okay.
Welcome back,
Hey,
Dolan.
There we go. Yeah. Hey.
Aurelio was just telling us how terrible it was to work with you.
I get that from everyone. Marat Michaels,
Yeah.
Ali Garza, just prima donna. Yeah. It's like Todd McFarlane. Yeah. It's crazy.
Exactly. Exactly. I kind of figured. I'm not going. No, I'm just kidding. So, Drew, this has been something you've been sitting on for a while. Tell us about
Yes.
what Unholy Nightmare is. Your concept. Aurelio told us that about how he was coming up with the concept with superheroes and an homage to the 90s comics. How did you fit into all that?
So it really started with back in March when we were finishing up Born of Blood. Aurelio was telling me just how much he loved my scripts and he wanted to keep working with me. And bear in mind, I've only been doing this for 2 years professionally, and or a year and a half at that point, and I was just blown away by that. And he was constantly sending me all of these character concepts. He's like, I have this idea for this character, this idea for this character, and I'm like, okay, that's great. Yeah, I don't know what to do with these. This is great. And at that point, I was already working on, I think, 4 scripts at that point.
Oh my goodness.
At March, I was very busy. And as he was sending these to me, I'm telling myself, don't say yes to anything. Don't say yes. Don't agree to anything yet. Just look at what he's got. But the thing was, as we started talking, we started going back and forth, talking about the characters, their backstories, their names, and how we saw the bigger picture playing out, who we saw as the big bad guys. And eventually I said to myself, damn it, we got something here. Like, I can't say no to this. And then at that point, like, we just said, all right, how are we going to do this? And we mutually agreed we're going to do Kickstarter. And because Aurelio, he said he wanted this to be ours, 50-50. It's completely ours. So I was like, all right, I completely agree with that. So we started to go the Kickstarter route. And so with that, granted, I had some experience with Kickstarter, but not much of setting things up on the Kickstarter end. So I knew I was going to need help. And I was talking to Aaron Sparrow, and he had mentioned to me, he's like, you know what? You should reach out to Murphy. I was like, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you. I was just going to say, why didn't you have Murphy help you?
Yeah, it's just one of the things I didn't think about. Because I figured she was busy enough. But Aaron
That's
said, Aaron was telling me, he's like, you know what? I think you'll be surprised. She'll probably want to do this. I'm like, okay. And I called her up and I told her what I had planned. And her first question was, is this a booby book? I'm like, no, it's not. It's not.
I love it.
It's not. And I'm like, it's just a straight up superhero horror story. She's like, awesome. I'm on board for this. So I was like, oh, great. So I paid her her fee to set everything up. She has killed it setting up the page, and it looks incredibly professional. And she has exceeded my expectations with what she's done. And I couldn't be happier. I'm sure Aurelio's happy as well with her results. And and not just that, but just seeing the art from Aurelio, seeing his crazy
God.
creativity he's got. And it's so cool when you see your words turn into sketches, then they turn into pencils, then they turn into inks, then they turn into colors, and then they turn into
Right?
with lettering. It's so cool. It's honestly, it reminds me. It's every day's like Christmas for me. When I get a new page in, I'm giddy like I'm an 8-year-old kid again. It's awesome. I love it.
That is, and you know what? Now I had seen some previous pages before this launched, and the first thing I thought of was not only 90s, but there is all I see is gargoyles, and I need it. Did you grow up with gargoyles?
Absolutely.
I did.
Oh my God. I seen it and I was like, I need to. Why do I feel like I need this? It's gargoyles all over. I know it's not, but that's what the art style really was like pulling me back to, especially with her. I don't know her name. Do we have a name? Are we allowed to know a name?
It's Jenny
Yep.
Talbot. Is our werewolf woman.
Our werewolf woman. I love it.
Thank you.
And
Um,
what is his name?
His name is the Recluse.
The Recluse. I knew that. I actually called him originally when we were working on the script for the trailer. Called him the Unholy Nightmare, and I'm like, I don't know what I should have asked first, but incredible. So tell us about the Unholy Nightmare. What can we expect in this book?
I would say expect the unexpected with this, and if do not expect people to just be sitting around and talking the entire comic. It's not going to happen.
Oh, dang it!
I know. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, it's going to be balls to the wall action, bones being broken, necks being snapped, blood, guts. You're going to see monsters. You can see humans turn into monsters. It's effectively superheroes and heroes becoming monsters to take down evil monsters. That's the pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because the way issue 1 is set up, when you because we have some of the first several pages down there, we also have the issue at the first page as well with dialogue. It opens up how you think a superhero comic would open up, like where they're going to bust up a drug bust, and like a Batman would. But when you get to the halfway point, that's where you get the twist. That's where it's like, whoa, what is going on here? He's transforming. She's transforming. We have a cybernetic assassin ninja. What is going on here? It's it's a whole new world opens up.
So is this world known, or is this like an underground thing? Because is there monsters roaming the street? I guess is what I should ask.
In hiding. And all I gotta say is there's someone creating monsters, if you will, through a new drug. There's a new exotic street drug he's using to get people addicted, but it's also causing some other after effects. And but also at the same time, by the time we get to the end of this issue, we'll know that oh my God, there is a whole other world of monsters going on here. And when we get to issue 2, God willing, we're gonna see some awesome monsters.
Ooh.
It's a chain reaction that will be made up, especially full of monster or other stuff that maybe is better not spoil actually.
Yeah. So where did this? Now you previously did Born of Blood, and Aurelio was the one I praised you for, right? With the art change.
Yes.
In the last 2 issues, was it?
Yep.
5 and 6 issues.
Okay, yes, because it was so freaking good, and it was one thing that I was so impressed by. So where did it go from Giaris and all that entailed with Born of Blood to monsters? Like, has it been something you've always been into? Have you always liked, the monster comics? Not all at once now, guys.
I was going to let it. I will say this: when we worked on issue 6, there were some monster elements in there. There's some like
right.
When we were putting the pages together, and he and I were talking back and forth. This is when we really discovered our love for monsters in horror films. That's when we really started talking about like Italian splatter movies and our favorite monsters and stuff in the 80s and 70s. And it's like, okay, it's awesome. All right, we both love monsters. Both love horror films.
Basically,
and
everything. No, finish. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, but no, you're fine. Yeah, and just
No. I was saying
our love.
Everything started with Brian Yutzna, the Society,
Yes.
Society the Horror. Everything started from there. Because
Absolutely,
we're talking about, yeah.
Okay,
there's
most
there's a
important
double-
question.
oh.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say real quick. There was a double page. You probably remember. There's a double page connected issue. Double page that connects in issue 6 of Born of Blood.
Yes.
And it's supposed to be and that's when we talked about Brian Yuzna's Society, and we started talking about just how nasty and horrific we wanted to make that look. And he nailed it. He knew exactly what I was talking about, and I love it.
Yeah. Basically, we both say that 15 minutes of that movies. We haven't described much more. We have talked about. You remember? I have asked him. You have seen Society the Horror? Dolan say me, yeah, that 15 minutes, and we're talking of the same things. So then everything started.
Most important question of the day. Where are her nipples?
I think they're covered right there. I think they're both covered by the.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hair
Was covered
and the-
actually.
yeah.
Was covered. This
There
is the that little piece of fur that cover, and
There
not
we
to
go.
avoiding censor.
She's so cute. Okay, so this is gonna get gruesome, right? We can expect a little this
absolutely.
isn't a comic that
Yeah.
you should probably give to your kid. This is gonna get a gruesome story.
Well, no, I would say this is a comic that a teenager could read. I would say 14,
Teenager,
15,
okay.
16. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is going to have monsters and everything in it, and that's.
Did Drew freeze?
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. We have missed Dolan again.
Yes. We lost Drew
Oh,
there for a second.
Oh, am I back? Oh, sorry. It's no different than what a kid back in the day would get from Monster or Eerie or Creepy or Tales from the Crypt back in the day. in my
Okay.
opinion.
Yeah, that's
And I
that's
think-
a good comparison.
Yeah, I think it's stuff like this. It's good. I think it's fun and cool exposure for a teenager. It's going to blow their minds. It's like, whoa, it's like that. It's that comic that you probably shouldn't read, but you're so curious and want to read, want to know about, like your older brother may have had. And I just feel like there's something special about that every teenager should experience.
Why did you decide Chicago as your place setting?
Well, so initially in issue 1, it takes place in Gary, Indiana.
Okay. Okay.
So it's going to take place in the Gary and Chicago area, and they're both connected. They're not far from one another if you're familiar with the area. But driving through Gary several times as I have, Gary is a ghost town. It is middle of the day, night, morning. There is no one out on the street. No one.
Oh, so you had some familiarity.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, several times, like on our way to C2E2 and back. I remember going up there one time with Ernie, who runs the brick and mortar store. We're driving through Gary, and then in the middle of the day, no cars, nobody, just buildings. It's like it's like Salem's Lot here. There's no one in this town. And I thought, this is the perfect spot. If you're going to do a drug deal, Gary, Indiana is the place to do it.
That was your first thought?
Yeah.
That is so funny. These pages look so incredible. So
Thank
is
you.
our main character here the recluse? Is he a monster? What is his abilities?
Well, as always, as we said before, we want to spoil too much, but he have some spider ability, but maybe more near to the Seth Brundle character from The Fly, then Peter Parker Spider-Man. But we won't spoil too much. Is basically another big inspiration was the Spider, the pulp heroes, and a little bit of the Shadow. But basically, it's like John Wick and Spider-Man put together. No. Yeah, he has spider abilities, but is not Spider-Man.
Gotcha. And I kind of, guessed by the design with the kind of webbing on the shoulder and stuff, but I wasn't sure.
I have missed the question. I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying I kind of assumed there was some sort of spider abilities by the way he was drawn. He reminded
Oh
me a
yeah.
bit of like, what is it? What's Drew? What's Donny Cates' new one? Vanquish? Is that what it is?
Oh, Vanish.
Vanish. That's what it is. It reminded me of a Vanish meets, black suited Spider-Man. It was with the red eyes. It really gives it a good accent.
Yeah, and when we came up with the backstory for this character, it's I really said we don't want to spoil too much, but let's just say he wasn't always the recluse. Let's just say like he's Spider-Man. When at one point in his life he got pushed too far, he went over the edge.
Okay.
And something happened to him. Let's say like he may have been a happy, jovial Spider Boy, but one day something bad happened and he was pushed over the edge.
Yeah. No, everybody are Peter Parker.
Exactly.
No, everybody has his sense of responsibility. It's basically that there's people that is pushed too hard and maintaining a self-control. People that push it too hard and that make him crazy, no?
Yes.
And then you've got to tell me about him, because when I was looking at the preview page, I'm like, I love him. He looks like he's straight out of 1982. Tell us all about
it. Well, this is my fault. Okay, because a few years ago there was this kind of challenge called Liefeld Sauna. Is basically a challenge about Rob Liefeld kind of characters. So from my name and surname, Aurelio Mazzara, coming out these two combination of name that was Shadow Run, and I have tried to draw it, and I pretty liked the characters. Then I asked to Dolan if we would have put him into the story as the bodyguards of the evil guy, and so he agreed. I have given a little update on the design, and I wanted to make an homage to the movies Robot Ninja. Is a movie by J.R. Bookwater. So I tried to put everything together, but Dolan give him a background, a good background. Mine was just an artwork.
It's so unique. I love, and like I wasn't saying 1982 as a insult. I love this. I love it. It's so unique.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad you like it.
And that's the thing about the story.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No. Go for it.
I'm just gonna say each character in this story, as we're gonna see, each one is so unique and different from the other. That's one thing you're gonna see, and I think that's what makes Aurelio's design special. Is that no two character designs are the same.
So, how was that like for you? Because for 6 issues, you wrote Giaris and Cleomenes, and you wrote characters that you had grown to really get to know inside and out. How was it like for you to have to start from scratch and write brand new characters and start writing backstories of characters and new ideas, and that had to be hard on you.
Oh, it is hard, incredibly hard, but it's a fun hard. It's a fun challenge, and I have it's so fun going back and forth with Aurelio. Like, I'm like telling, like, this is what I'm thinking for the backstory, this and that, and Aurelio's like, yeah, what about this, and that? I'm like, okay, yeah, how about we take some of this, we add some of this to that backstory and all that. Then I love our creative, brainstorming we have for these characters, and I really truly believe that people are going to see just how special these characters are and what we have planned story wise. It's going to blow people away, especially, I mean, God willing, like I said, if issue 1 is fully funded and we're able to tell the future issues, we're going to get into some of the backstories. We're going to put them in, in the back of the preceding issues. Like, we're going to do some like little, like 10, 12 page, like kind of origin stories for each of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And,
oh, that's cool.
So yeah. So like, we're going to do one for, a mysterious character that shows up at the end of issue 1. We're going to do one for a few more that show up in issue 2. We're going to do one for the recluse, and we're going to bring on some, hopefully, possibly some other creative talents to help us tell some of these stories. So should be fun.
How did you come up with the name The Recluse? Because when I was going over the stuff for the trailer, and I was getting pronunciations to Hooded Justice, who did the voice of it. How did you come up with that? Because I was like, no, I think it's recluse. He's like, no, it's recluse. And I had to Google it. That's ridiculous that I did. But how did you come up with that name?
Well, it's, because we knew he was a spider type character, and I started exploring different spider names, and I saw the recluse, and I'm like, ooh, here we go, like a brown recluse. I was like, ooh, here we go. This is a good one.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and sure enough, when I started showing off the character designs to some of my friends on a live stream, Aaron Sparrow, who should be joining us at some point, hopefully, he said, damn it. He's like, I can take that one off my list. He said that was one of his names he was going to use for any character he had, the recluse.
Oh, wow.
Like, all right. I was on the right track.
That is awesome. You know what? I didn't even make that connection, but I really, really like it. So how
Thank
long
you.
is this book?
Just research.
Just research. That's always the fun part, right?
Yeah.
So how long? How is this a typical trade size? What are we talking here?
26 pages.
26 pages. Okay. And you've got a couple covers here, which I want to show off. Now, this is a wraparound, correct?
Correct. So we're looking at Andrew Mangum's cover. The trade dress right above that, that's going to be just the front cover. But when you get the Virgin cover, it's going to be the wraparound.
Okay. That is gorgeous. And I love it. Zombies. So we're going to see zombies. There's so many monsters.
Yeah. Like I said, it's an unholy nightmare. Yeah. It's an unholy nightmare of monsters.
And I'm going to keep asking. You don't have to answer if you don't want to give away any spoilers. But who's this?
That is true.
Okay.
That is Trinacria. I'll let Aurelio explain to her, because when he showed me the designs for this, I was like, what the hell am I looking at? And I had this, it blew my mind that he sent me, I'll let Aurelio explain. Aurelio, you go ahead and explain her.
Yeah. Trinacria is basically a symbol of Sicily, of my country. So cool. This legend about this woman with 3 legs around his head, and she's a gorgon. So I always wanted to explore this design. Many years ago, I have tried to transforming to make a superhero called Trinacria, but I was never too much convicted about. So I was just I never wanted to going forward with this idea. Then when we started about working on Unholy Nightmare, I wanted to bring another bad girl with Jenny. So I have come with this quick sketch about her and show to Dolan that luckily I liked the idea, and we started think about her. I was pretty glad because lots of people asking about her. I think that actually um, um, a character like her was never represented on a comic book. So I'm really happy with her. I always can't wait to show more about because it's a character and Dolan give her an awesome background. We're talking a lot about her. Also because we're going to explore some elements of C3 that are actually never been mentioned on any kind of comic book.
That is so cool. So Drew, or Dolan, I don't know. What to call, I'm just gonna call you both. We're just gonna use them interchangeably. When you wrote her, did you pull from the legend that had been around her previously?
A little bit, but we're gonna tell a fun story with her and how like I said, I don't want to spoil too much, but she is a central part of the story and an important part. But her origin story is going to be tied in with another character on the team who's going to be show up in issue 2, and he's more or less the one who's kind of more or less the guy protecting her from others.
Ooh.
And guiding her,
Yeah.
and just we'll find out what happens if he may be away, and someone may or may not influence her. But I don't want to spoil too much. But she's gonna be the challenging character because we're really exploring someone, a demon more or less, with these supernatural abilities. So it's really locking down what this character can and can't do. That's the hard part, and so that's going to be the hard and challenging part, I think.
So have you already written issue 2 then?
It's issue 2 is not completely done yet.
Okay.
Well, so issue 2, the synopsis for it is all done. We know the plot beats, what's going to happen in issue 2. Actually, the whole first arc is all plotted out. 1 through 6.
Oh, wow.
All plotted out. Yeah. And I gave Aurelio a brief synopsis of what happens in the second arc, and things just
oh my
go from bad to worse. Yeah, because let's just say we up the ante with the Unholy Nightmare in the second arc, and I can't wait till we get to that. Hopefully we get to that. But yeah, we've got this all plotted out. What's going to happen?
We have basically a lots of plot.
Lots of great ideas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like once we get to by the time we get to the end of issue 4, you're going to be like, what? How in the hell is anyone going to survive this?
Right?
Yeah.
These are gorgeous too, by the way.
Yeah, Joe Ball, right there. He did those two. He was one of the first guys that reached out to do a cover. A good friend of mine named Phil Diaz. He does a series called Magic Cop and the Lost Pages. And I asked him, like, hey, do you have a good cover artist I could be able to borrow? He's not too expensive. He said, yeah, I got this guy Joe Ball. I'm like, looked at his art. I'm like, holy crap. So I asked him what we wanted, and he gave us this. And I showed it to Murphy, and she was like, this black and white, granted the colors are good,
great.
But it's like, let's just do the black and white as a cover too. So we're like, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the black and white is going to be the Virgin cover for this.
I love this black and white, and I normally like color, but this one is so intricately detailed.
Yeah, I got this up on my wall. I actually got this from Joe Ball. I have it up here framed.
The original, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And then you've got the She-Wolf. Tell me about this one.
Yeah, Jen. So Jen just messaged me. She said, unfortunately, she can't make it tonight. She had an issue with her. Her husband is working or whatever. Yeah. So this one, I reached out to her, asked her. I wanted her to do a cover. She said absolutely. This is kind of like our Animorphs cover, if you will.
It's exactly what I thought too.
Yes, and if
you're so funny.
Yeah, if you're a kid like we were back in the 90s and 80s and you remember the Animorphs books, hey, there you go. And she nailed it, and yeah, I love it. And oh yeah, you're definitely gonna want to beware of the full moon when she becomes a full on wolf, especially in issue 1. You see what she's able to do, but yeah.
Gorgeous.
And Jen actually showed off last night the pencils and inks for this, and they look beautiful.
I love it. And you have two, so you have a virgin and a
trade dress,
and a trade dress one.
Yep.
Beautiful. Wait, I haven't seen this cover.
Aurelio, let's explain this one, man.
My fault.
It's gorgeous, but I thought I had seen them all because I was working on the trailer, but holy crap, this is incredible.
Thank you so much. It's colored by Alex Venutelli. And I think he nailed it with this color. I'm really happy you like. Thank you so much.
It is so. Oh my gosh, he's going. So we're talking, and when you say Spider-Man, I think, Peter Parker, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, right? But you're talking full like morph Spider-Man.
Yeah, like he's
Wow.
going to become he's going to become a full-on monster. Like so everyone needs to be prepared. We're not holding back on this book. When we say they turn into monsters, they're going to be turning into monsters. So
we'll enjoy with him. We will really enjoy with this character. Yeah.
One thing I want to talk about too is you guys have this on Mutant Farm, right? This is not Merc. This is something you guys have completely not separated yourself. I don't want to use that word, but like you're working on this together. You're doing all the work.
Yeah. Mutant Farm. Yeah, this is the logo that Aurelio created, and I was like, oh, that's a cool name. That's a cool concept. Yeah,
it's basically is a name that I have created almost 20 years ago, maybe much more. Yeah, just for joke, because I wanted to try to make an hypothetical names for an hypothetical comic book. So I wanted to ask Doran, you like this name? I agree, but we have reworked totally on the logo. And I think I always like the Mutant Farm name. So have a trauma.
Some people want to change their package and everything else. So are you expecting it towards the end of it, or are you expecting it now, or are you know what I mean?
Like the reveal of that cover?
Yes.
Oh, so it's going to be in, I think, 2 weeks. We're going to reveal that cover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it should be plenty of time because we're going through till the end of November. So 2 weeks and should be good. Oh, it's not okay. I will say it's not Shikari. Shikari loves
that's
me. I love
probably
Shikari.
Everyone's guess too.
Yeah, it's not. Unfortunately, I can't quite afford $5,000 for a cover right now with Shikari. So.
Yeah.
Shikari is amazing.
He's amazing, but he's so damn expensive now. So yeah.
Well, I mean, look at that work. Look at some of those covers of Giaris. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are hard to find now. Those early Giaris ones he did. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, you've got add-ons. Okay, tell us about the add-ons. You've got a little statue.
Yeah, this was Aurelio wanted a plastic standee, and and unfortunately Aaron and Murphy are familiar with those, so we decided let's do one for Trinacria because that'd be a fun, crazy one, and it absolutely is. So yeah, I think it should be a beautiful addition to my desk.
Right, and this is plastic. You said like 3D printed, or
yeah, just a clear plastic standee. Yeah.
Wait, it's clear.
Yeah, it's it's gonna be we did those for Born of Blood 3 or 4 as they add on for Giaris. And there's like a piece of film on either side where you can peel it off and it looks like kind of clear. But it has the
it's gorgeous
image on it. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have original commissions here you're doing too?
Yeah.
That is so neat. I did an interview earlier today, and this was the first time that I had seen that, and now you're doing it too. I love it. So this is a whole bus sketch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
and then
so
you've
he's
got,
gonna. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Aurelius. We're gonna. He can do. Yeah, it's gonna be. I think limited to only 10. But he's gonna. Yeah, any character you want. He's gonna do it.
Yeah, everything, every character, ask everyone.
like, not just every character from this book. Like, you're talking anything, right?
Yeah. If they want the
Yeah.
Phantom, there you go.
There
Yeah,
you go.
exactly.
Yeah. You've got original art. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So how many? You only have one.
So it's gonna be 6 pages. I think.
Oh,
a
6.
limited-
I thought it said limited to one each. I'm
oh,
dumb. I'm sorry.
No, it's a limited to 1 each, but I think we may have to fix the verbiage on that. But yeah, it should be. It's probably 1 per person. Maybe that's probably what they meant. I'll talk to Murphy about that. But it's going to be the 6 pages that we have here on the campaign that we previewed. Those,
Okay.
Yeah.
6 pages are up.
And then it's going to be the inks and no color, right?
pencils.
Oh, in the
No.
pencils. Yeah. Okay. I love when people do this, drawn into the comic. That's so fun. That's so fun. Does that put any extra pressure on you, Aurelio?
What? I'm sorry.
No, I just said, does that put any extra pressure on you, drawing people into the comic?
Yeah, I asked to Dolan if we could, because I know lots of people. They usually ask me, "Oh, can you put me on one of your comics? Can you put everyone every time, Or people that say you should do a comic book about me. I exactly I don't know why. I don't know why, but I asked Dolan we could put people into our comic book and maybe being killed, or we can decide what to do. Became a zombie, became a demon, became a goon, everything.
That is so neat. I actually do have a question for you, Aurelio. Who
Oh,
are
yeah.
some of your main artistic influences?
Okay. Well, I really and always follow the heart of Ryan Otley from Invincible.
Oh my
Yeah, I
gosh.
love him. He totally changed my artistically life. I can say absolutely, but also on the same with the same important, I could totally say Joe Quesada, especially on his first comics like Ninja or Ash
Yes.
or Guardian Devil. I totally love Joe Quesada's art. It's when I'm sad, when I'm depressed, I look at Joe Quesada's Azrael and I feel better because it's therapeutical, positively therapeutical for me. But also a lot, I love Kelly Jones. I love Todd McFarlane, of course. Greg Capullo. There are too many influence on my artistically way, or artistically. I like see lots of people. Also, another one that I really love is Ryan Stegman.
Oh, great example.
I totally love it. I love his art. He's full of energy. It's that page is exploding every time he posts a new piece. It's blowing my mind. It's something
Yes.
great.
It's
But
so full of life.
of course, I mentioned all these great artists, but I totally don't know if I am near their greatness. Of course, I try to take the best for what's in my possibilities. I don't know if it makes sense. No,
No, Aurelio, you don't give yourself enough credit.
Yeah, you don't.
I've told you before. I've shared with you screenshots, man. I've shared your stuff with other pros, especially one big name pro, and he's very impressed with your work. So
Thank you so much.
Aurelio, you're nailing it right now. Yeah, you're doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can say I always like to study, continue to studying, and try to evolve myself. No, learn the best from the best, of course. I have tried to meet Rick Leonardi
Ooh, yeah.
and Kelly Jones this year, and it was a blessing. Was a blessing for me
Oh, I bet that
because
was amazing.
yeah, because known that maybe you are on the right way, and they are artists that I follow since I was a kid. I read comics since I was
Yeah.
5 years old. I never stopped to read comics, so I'm growing with these artists now, with the Crimson Rain, and or Spider-Man from Rick Leonardi, Miguel, of course. So when we meet them, you show your works, and they give you advising. For me, it's a blessing. It's a Amarcord moment. Okay, stop. I'm finished.
What about you, Drew? That's not in an artistic way, but is there any writer or somebody that you look up to in the same way?
Yeah, the type of stories I want to tell, which are typically fast-paced, action-packed stories. I'm really looking at guys like Mark Miller. Um, Granted, okay, now
Tom
I'm
King,
going to say
obviously.
come on, yeah, bestest
Sorry.
ever. No, no. And another one is I would say, granted, he has people helping him tell the stories, but how he tells it with the art, I do love it visually. Is like Rob Liefeld. Granted, there's a lot to be said about him, but I mean, I do love that his kinetic, action-packed pages. Granted, the dialogue can use some help, but I do like the type of storytelling.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd say Mark Miller is probably the prime example of what I want to go for with my stories.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Mark Millar. Unless it's the big
No.
game and he kills everybody at the very beginning, and I was really mad. But I'm just saying.
Or continuing to kill people throughout the story.
Holy moly. Okay, so you have a different colorist and you have a letterer. Tell us about them on your team.
Yeah, Gene Jimenez, the colorist. This guy, holy crap! When we turn so few notes we have to give this guy, it's amazing. Like we just he'll send us back the pages, and it's just like, oh my god, he nailed it. Except for like this minor tweak here and there, which are easy fixes, but it's like he got it. He nailed it. I mean, almost every page was done. It blew us away, and we couldn't believe it. And it was amazing. And the letterer, Kel Natal, both these guys were recommended to me. Like, I had never worked these guys before, and Kel with his lettering, it's so. If you look at the interior pages from this guy, they're so unique, cool, and special. It's just like it stands out. That's what makes it awesome, And it's not just bland, generic captions or dialogue, and it makes it cool, unique, and special. And that's what I love about it. Both these guys, we are so blessed to have both these guys working with us. And I think with all of us, we are putting together like one kick-ass comic that will stand up to, if not exceed, stuff from Marvel and DC or Image.
And let's talk about you've got a $5 digital download, but that comes again with if you get a physical, right?
That's correct. Yeah, if you get a physical copy, you'll get the digital download.
And they're only okay. So these now sometimes people do early bird specials. Are these the price throughout?
Yeah, there's gonna be the prices throughout. Absolutely.
Awesome. And you've got so much. Oh my goodness, I love it. It's so hard. This cover I did not see before, and I absolutely love it. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. It was the last. Aurelia was rushing to get that done at the last minute. We told him, it's like, hey man, we got to turn this around fast. And Aurelio killed it. and Alex, he killed it on the colors. It's like maybe a minor tweak, but he nailed it. Hey, Josh, I sent you the invite, man. Get in here. Get in here, Josh.
Friggin'
You got the invite.
slacker.
Yeah, you have the invite, man. Come on. Aaron's not here. Come on.
So is Aaron doing your editing for this?
Well, so Aaron, he read the script, and I got his notes, and he got, and so it's more like Murphy and Aaron kind of looked it over, and Joe Corallo as well, but mostly it was Aaron and Murphy. But Aaron, he really gave me his notes, what he thought worked within because the first draft and the second there were some pacing issues we tweaked and fixed. But I really think with Aaron's notes as well as Murphy's that we produced a one kick-ass first issue.
So we can expect a lot of action, I'm assuming, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's like so
absolutely.
Yeah, because Aurelio knows he read the script. So yeah, when we see the she-wolf Jenny and the cybernetic assassin, when that's not just one page. That's like I think almost 6 pages that they're fighting each other, and maybe 5 or 6. It's going to be awesome, and they're going to be slashing, hacking each other up. It's going to be great. Oh, now Aaron Sparrow is on his way.
Okay. Do you guys have a add-on for autographs or no? Isn't that possible?
Yes, there is. Yeah, I believe when you go to check out,
okay,
that's one of the add-ons you can get. You can get my signature. I think they loaded like an image of what my signature is, so that'll be yep, free. Yeah, so I think it's a free. I think if I forget how it's in there, like how it's priced, but like if you spend a certain amount, it's a free signature or whatever. Or like,
that's cool.
Yeah, or if we get to a certain amount, it's a free signature, but we'll see what happens. But, yeah.
Do you have stretch goals on here?
Not yet. We've got stuff in mind. We're waiting to see what happens. We're keeping our expectations low. Because we don't have the backing of Merck or Comics League, because it's just us, and we're waiting to see. Hopefully, if we get to 5, and eventually past beyond that, that's when we're going to start, because we already have things in mind we want to add when we exceed that. But right now, $5,000 is our goal. We want to see if we can make sure we can hit that first.
Oh, definitely, I get that, but stretch goals are always fun. They are.
Oh, trust me, we got stuff in mind. Don't worry. Yeah,
that is awesome. Let me see what else we got here. I think I went through all of this stuff.
Oh, so the real quick, if you go back up real quick, the Trinacria cover, that's the only one that has 3 variants. So there is a trade dress, there's a virgin, and there is the spot gold foil cover for that.
I like the gold around it.
Yep, that's gonna be that's gonna be gold chrome, and it's you can only get that when you buy the set.
And who did this cover again? I know you said, but
the authors is Gaetano Petrino, with the colors. Also, these colors are from Alex Venutelli, the guy who colored my covers too.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah,
here.
They nailed it. Yeah.
So when are you expecting? All goes to plan, everything works out, you get that funding, all that fun stuff. When are you expecting delivery?
We are so at the earliest. I talked to Murphy. We're expecting spring at the earliest next year.
Okay.
At the latest, if things happen, supply chain issues, whatever, be this time next year at the latest.
And we have Aaron.
What was that, Aurelio? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Welcome, Aaron.
Hey, how's it going?
It is going well. How are you?
Oh, it's going well. I'm so sorry, guys. Like, I saw Drew's message, and he's like, "Well, hop on," and I was like, "Oh my god, I thought it was Pacific time."
I keep forgetting Aaron's on the left coast.
Sorry.
Yeah, and we usually do usually we're doing stuff like at 6 p.m., 7 p.m. With like Max and Josh and stuff. So, my bad, guys. My bad. So sorry.
You're fired.
No problem.
So tell us about your experience with this comic so far, Aaron.
I'm really excited for this. Drew started talking about it. He said I'm doing something with Aurelio. And I was like, oh, cool, keep me posted. And then when he sent me like the first images and was like, this is what the book is, I was like, oh wow, this is really this really looks really good. I'm really impressed with the character designs. I said last night that I want an action figure already of the Recluse.
Right.
So yeah,
Me
it's like
too.
just I just absolutely love the design. I think that the book looks really good, and I got a chance to read Drew's script. And if you guys liked Born of Blood, I think this blows it away. I think that the work that Drew did on Born of Blood was kind of the like the learning curve that he took to get here, and what he and Aurelio have put together is really special. So I'm really hoping that that everybody backs it and checks it out, and really gets behind it, because I want to see this, and I want to see issue 2, and I want to see issue 3, and I want to see like this whole thing come to fruition, this whole story. So yeah, guys, definitely check it out, especially if you're dissatisfied with the things that are coming out of the big two, the things that are coming even out of the indie companies. This, you're like, hey, I want to return to action. I want to return to story. I want to like care about the characters that I'm reading about. I don't want to just read self inserts from, the various writers that are on the titles. Then you owe it to yourself to back this, even if you're like, hey man, it's, things are tight, the economy sucks. Gas is through the roof. I only have a little bit of money. They do offer like the $5 option so that you can come in very affordable, and get the PDF. But if you want the physical book, if you're like one of those old school people like me that likes to hold the book in their hands, then yeah, definitely back this.
It looks gorgeous. I'm actually I think that's a huge compliment, Aaron, for Drew. If Born of Blood is his learning curve, and this has only gone up from there, like that's a huge compliment, because Born of Blood, it was better than it had the right to be.
People loved Born of Blood. They loved what what Drew put out. And like I said, that was him like basically like learning his craft and
Right.
applying all of those lessons learned to this.
So
with great leadership and guidance from Aaron and Joe Sparrow, which
yes,
I mean Aaron Sparrow and Joe Corallo. And
Joe and I are married.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So when it comes to writing these characters, how in Aaron mentioned, and the characters a lot of times, not always, but like I've been disenfranchised with comics as of late, because I'm getting sick of stuff like more Teeny Howard's driving me crazy. Like there is a lot of good out there, but there is just so much. How do you take that lesson from those kind of examples and make your writing stand out and above those?
Is this a question for me or is this for Drew?
It was for Drew, but I think he forgot to answer.
I was going to say.
I'm sorry. I thought it was for Aaron. I'm sorry. I thought it was for Aaron. But I honestly, what I do is like I read the methods of what a lot of comic book writers do, and the one I attribute to the most is Alan Moore. Alan Moore said that if you're doing this, you have to read the books that are out. And if you do that, you can't just read the good stuff. You have to read the bad books too, so you know what not to do. And I'm fortunate enough to be in a position with Comics Elite that I can read all these books and discover what the bad books are, and I know what not to do in those books. I know how to pace a book properly. I know what type of dialogue I should be using. I know how the pacing should be. There's so much to learn from reading the bad stuff that it really does help.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean,
as much as you don't want to read it, it helps to read it.
No, I totally get, and I get that because, and obviously I cover comics, right? But I've dropped about half of what I generally would read, because like there's some great stuff out there, and I feel like I'm like trying to do that, oh, Marvel sucks, bomb my book type thing. That's not what I'm meaning. But because of that, I've ventured into a lot. Like I mostly read indies now. Like, and when I say indies, I mean Boom, AWA, Image, stuff like that, because I'm getting sick of the capes and cows. And this is right. Like, I read a monster book not that long ago that this kind of reminded me of, but on a like crack level. Like a did you ever read Trojan, Drew?
Yes, I did. From what I recall, I wasn't a big fan of it.
Oh my god, of course not. I'm just kidding.
But the thing is, I've read a lot of monster books, that tried to incorporate superheroes into them, but they didn't really work narratively. And I would say the one I kind of looked toward the most, look kind of not necessarily mirrored off of, but kind of saw where it worked to a degree that I wanted it to kind of be similar to this, was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I knew you were going to say that.
Because I felt like he kind of got that element right in the first 2 volumes, at least. After that, it goes to Kooky Town. But
it is Alan
the first
Moore.
2, yeah. But what's figure drawing? He's right. Yeah, Alan Moore. He read you have to read. You have to read the classics. You have to be well read to really get a good understanding of pacing and everything else with telling a story, and it does help. And yeah, and with Alan Moore and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, that really was kind of like a little blueprint of where I wanted to go with this.
Definitely, I love it. Before we go, tell everybody one more time why they should back this, because I want people to check it out. I want them to take a look, at the hint trailer. Just saying. And I want everybody to at least look at it, because like Aaron said, it's if you're unsure, there's a $5 digital download.
Yeah, who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Okay.
I think that I've worked with Aurelio. I first started working with him. God, it's got to be like 10 years ago now. At Ape Entertainment is where I met him, and we were working on Kung Fu Panda comics. Believe it or not.
I thought you said Kung Fu Cuck. I'm sorry. I was.
We're working on everybody's favorite hero.
It's a good idea.
Kung Fu Cuck. Yes, Kung Fu Cuck, soon to be a major motion picture starring Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
We will ask to Axel Brown that make usually parody. He could make Kung Fu Cock.
Yes, so exactly. So we were doing Kung Fu Panda, and we got back into we kind of drifted apart with our careers, but came back together, and he actually came on and finished off Born of Blood when the artist that was on the series, Carlos, had some personal problems, and he delivered like just such high quality pages so quickly, and like just captured the action and the adventure and the gore and just like everything. Like it was clear that he was just having a good time on the book. And when Drew told me that hey, Aurelio and I are developing something, I was like, well, this is going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And when like I said, when I first saw the character designs and I first kind of heard the concept that they really wanted to do horror, set in like kind of a superhero universe, that's always kind of appealed to me. Like I liked like back in the 90s, even though it wasn't that good and wasn't that successful, I like when Marvel tried that, when they tried to do their horror line with the Midnight Suns. And so this has a lot of like 90s energy, but in all the best way. So all the best ways. So you're getting a good story, which you didn't always get in the 90s, because once the Image guys left, they kind of got desperate and they did like a flood the shelves strategy, not unlike they're doing today. But with this, you're getting a really strong story and you're getting really strong visuals, and these guys are so invested in this. They have so much enthusiasm for it. It's not like just a gig job, like, yeah, we're putting out a comic, for this company. They are passionate about this. So I think that's the best selling point that I can give. And if you love beautiful art and you love, a story that's going to engage you and make you want to read the next issue, I think you need to check it out.
That was a great pitch.
Yes.
That was a great pitch.
The thing, if you know anything about me, or if you followed me in any way online, or see me on like Thinking Critical or any of the other channels that I've been on, I don't shill. So if I didn't believe in this project, I wouldn't be here talking about it. So at least you know that I'm serious about it.
Yeah,
I've
and
always known
that's
you
what
as a shill. He's lying, guys. No, I'm just kidding.
Best Jedi, Last Jedi is the best movie I've ever seen.
Yes, I'm the exact same way when it comes to projects of people I bring on. I'm very selective because I want to believe what I'm saying.
Yeah, and honestly, when I sent my script to Aaron, I knew I could trust him because I knew he wouldn't hold back. I knew he would give me his criticisms as well as praises, and I needed that. Like, I need to know because I know Aaron he has that good eye and that good voice to guide me and Aurelio to telling a great story. And I knew with his edits and his critiques that we could make something special here. And I believe we have.
That was a nice way of saying he doesn't mind being a jerk sometimes.
No, I will tell you, like, I try to do it in a nice way, but I will flat out tell you, like, this isn't working.
Right.
And like, this is, this part doesn't connect. And this is actually a better idea here than you're focused on over here. So maybe expand this out and reduce this. Like, I will give you those kind of notes to kind of get the best, the best version of your story out there. It's not meant to be mean-spirited. It's meant to have you put your best foot forward. That's what I try to do as an editor is I want everybody to do their best. I want everybody to become so successful that I can't afford to work with them anymore. I'm like, I want to hire you for this thing. And they're like, this is my rate. And I'm like, oh, that's what I want.
Drew, we actually do have a question for you. Right before Born of Blood was live, you were super nervous. Now with that under your belt, how are you feeling about this new project?
I'm even more nervous now.
Oh no!
No, yeah. Oh, I'm even more nervous than before then. Like I said, Aurelio and I, we've put our own personal money into this book. We have financially put this is ours, and this succeeds or fails on us. And I'm hoping it succeeds because we want to keep telling the story, and we want to bring on other creators to help us tell more stories. One of which may be talking with us right now to help tell another one. But because like I said, when you put your money into a project, the risk goes up, and you start really sweating. But I really hope we get there.
Yeah,
definitely. And I mean,
totally agree.
I have no doubts. I'm not gonna lie. You need to start going on everybody's channel, every single person just get the word out there. That's the most important, because the project and you talking about it will sell itself, right? But if you can't get eyes on it, it's so important to get it out there.
Me, you're absolutely correct. I'm going to be hitting, like I told Aaron yesterday, I've got a day after day after day after day. I'm going to be on a different stream, like every night. So that should help.
Yeah, definitely. And like I told you before, I'm putting it on, I'm going to put do you want me to actually put the trailer on the channel too? And put the link below it? Okay. I wasn't sure. And I'm going to put it on my TikTok. It's going to be on my Twitch. It's going to be everywhere.
Sweet. And Aaron's been gracious enough to really push it on Twitter or X, if you will, but because I'm not on Twitter, and if I were, I would get nothing done. And, I really thank him for that.
Yeah, you can come follow me on Twitter and get mad at me over there. But
I am on Twitter.
Get mad at me over there is essentially what Twitter is. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like hey. Yeah. I put out something today where I said and it was just spurred by some an interaction that I had at the convenience store. Yeah, a guy, like I'm there and I'm waiting to ring up my stuff, and this guy that's standing there just like kind of starts talking to me, and he starts talking to me about like this incident that just happened in hockey where a guy kicked another guy and killed a guy. And I said, I haven't really looked. He skated across, like intercepted him apparently. Like I saw the video, I don't really know the whole context, but like and kicked him in the neck. Anyway, long story short, this guy's like asking my opinion on it, and I was like, I mean, I've seen the footage, but I don't really know. Like I haven't really looked into it, so I don't really have an opinion on it. And at this point. And he's just like telling me what my opinion should be. And then finally the guy behind the counter goes, "Hey, Joey, shut the F up. You don't know what the F you're talking about." And I was just like, and that made me think about like Norm Macdonald's old bit about people these days got too many opinions. It used to be you'd have like, maybe like 5 or 6 strong opinions and any more than that. And you'd be like, that guy's got a lot of opinions, So I posted that on Twitter. And and I was like, yeah, this is the perfect place to point this out. That yeah, maybe scale. You don't have an opinion on everything, especially if you don't know anything about it. But I do have one solid opinion right now, and that's that Unholy Nightmare is going to be awesome.
I love it. That
Thank
is
you.
so. It
Thank
is,
you.
and it's going to be a perfect place for us to wrap up. But Drew, Dolan, whatever, Aurelio, and Aaron, thank you guys so much for
Thanks
joining
to
to
you.
talk about this. No problem. And I wanted to say thank you to Hooded Justice. He did do the audio, the voice recording for me, because I wanted it to be like, when I think Unholy Nightmare, I don't think a girl with a squeaky voice, right? Like, I was like, I need someone with that gruff. So thank you so much for that. And I'm going to play it one more time so everybody can check it out. I'm proud of it. I'm proud. We'll see.
Thank
We'll
you
see
so
you
much.
guys next time. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
to
you.
Thank you.
In the dark streets of Chicago, a mysterious masked hero fights against the forces of evil. He is the Recluse, and has a secret ally, a cop who goes undercover in the criminal underworld. Together, they face a deadly new threat, a drug that turns humans into monstrous creatures. As they try to stop the drug trade, they discover a hidden realm of horrors that will test their courage and loyalty. Will they survive?
The Unholy Nightmare.
From the creators of the hit comic book series Born of Blood, R. Elio Mazara and Dolan Wadding, comes a new action-packed adventure that will take you to the edge of your seat. Enter a world where superheroes and monsters collide, and nothing is what it seems. Don't miss Unholy Nightmare, the comic book event of the year.